Hello. Good morning, everybody. Or good afternoon, really. Just want to make sure that the system is working and fine. I can't see any participants, so I guess nobody has arrived yet, or nobody knows what the sessions are on. And so, I guess I'll go ahead and look at the
We have to differentiate between two types of
okay, so we're back again, and I'm trying to see whether we have enough participants or not, but I think we don't. So I just want to make sure that everybody can get the chat also. So good afternoon, everybody. I guess you still can't hear me. Try and fix the audio so that you get the best performance here. And I will try to repeat, this is officially the sessions are on, but I will try to repeat, obviously, whatever we need to repeat later on. So let's start with the lecture 1 first. And here's lecture 1 now. Okay. So now just trying to make sure that yep. Just want to make sure that I know I saw somebody come in. So Zara, you're supposed to be here, right? So if you are here and you can listen to me, you can hear me, just raise your hand, right? You have all options. You have the hand in front of you. Hello? So if you can hear me, yes, hello, Zahra. Can you hear me? Just want to make sure that the chat is working okay. So she left the main room now. Okay, so I wonder why nobody's here. I'm not really sure. But in any case, I have a feeling that the mic is not really working as well as it should. So let's, okay, let's stop talking. Okay, as I said, we still don't have enough participants over here. So I'm just okay, if I were to start going ahead with our presentation here. Let's go into the introduction. And obviously it has already been pre-recorded by our previous instructor. And so what I will do now is just try to turn off the sound system that he has and just repeat everything that I think is important in this course. I did find the syllabus, so I will be uploading the syllabus soon. But what I want in this lecture is introduce you to the course. The book is called Semantics, a course book. You can find it in any of the bookstores. basically in Khawarizmi. You'll find it in next to the university. And we are going to go through the lectures one by one. We're going to go up all the way to lecture 13. Let's start now with chapter 1. And what we have here is an introduction to what semantics is, the meaning of semantics. And we're also going to look at the difference between sentence meaning and speaker meaning. So here we are looking at the difference between sentence meaning and speaker meaning. So if you look at the slide in front of you, you will find that as I said, in this lecture, we will we want to know the difference, as we said, between sentence meaning and speaker meaning. And these two things are sentence meaning and speaker meaning again. And as we said, linguistics is defined as the scientific study of meaning. That's the most important thing. Language, yes, but it's a scientific study of language, but basically it studies meaning as well. Now, when we say linguistics, it has obviously many branches. It has morphology. And you know what morphology is. It studies the composition of words. It consists of phonetics, description of sounds, and there's phonology, which studies how these sounds are connected together. And there's also semantics, which we know that is a branch of linguistics, but it's basically dealing with the science of meaning. Now, if semantics is the study of meaning and language, we have to distinguish between two types of these meanings. Yes, we study meaning, but what do we mean by meaning? There's what we call speaker meaning and something called sentence meaning. Now, in speaker meaning, it's what you intend to say by your message. When you use a piece of language, how do you intend to use it? And sentence meaning, or word meaning, is what a sentence actually means. As you say here, as you see here, what it counts as the equivalent of in the language concerned. So if I say something like good morning, the equivalent of it in Arabic would be sabah al-khair. This is the actual sentence meaning in terms of the words, their meanings, what they connote, etc. But the speaker meaning is something quite different. So let's see what the difference between those two are. Let's say I have a phrase that means, for example, I am hungry. Okay, this is a set sentence, and it means I am hungry. What if I change the participant? What if I, for example, say, I just want to open a page here so I can go to the whiteboard. So, as you said, speaker meaning and sentence meaning. If I had a sentence that says, as the sentence is in front of you, a mother to a child, you are driving me up the walls. Now, does that actually mean that the mother, that the child is driving her actually up the walls? As you say, does that mean they are intended literally? Actually, you want me to drive you up the walls? Or is this just an expression that means you're driving me crazy or you're making me angry? So the question is, the question we want to ask is this a literal meaning, a mother to a child, you're driving me up the wall? Or is this just a figure of speech that means I'm very angry with you? So the question is it literal, yes or no? So obviously it's not literal. I would say that it's no, right? And if I say that it's no, obviously that would be the correct answer. Now if you had said yes, that would have been wrong, right? So you didn't understand the difference between literal meaning and sentence. Let's go to the second one. So, if a tired traveler is saying, this suit is killing me, does that actually mean that the suitcase is killing him? Obviously it doesn't mean that. It just means that it's, it's making him very tired. And so the answer is no. What if a friend is saying to a friend, I was over the moon when I brought the new car. I was over the moon when I brought the new car. Does that actually mean that the friend is over the moon? Obviously, it doesn't mean that. And so it's a no. It is not the literal meaning. When a student says to his teacher, I will do the impossible to get the full mark. Is he actually going to do something impossible that never has been done? Obviously not. So what we mean here is that this is not the sentence meaning. This is the speaker meaning. So you see what how much the difference is between speaker meaning and sentence meaning. This, you're not taking the real sentence meaning, because the real sentence meaning would mean that you're doing the impossible. But you're using the speaker meaning because this is what you wanted to convey by this sentence. Now, you can sometimes have both. For example, as I said, if we say the sentence like, I am hungry. Now, this phrase, I am hungry, can be said to have one sentence meaning, I am hungry, but it also has various speaker meanings. How does that mean? If you say I'm hungry, that just means I'm hungry. That's the literal meaning of the sentence. But what if I say I'm hungry, but I change the participants, the speakers? What if I'm hungry is said by a beggar? You're walking down the street, and a beggar, a poor man, comes up to you and tells you, I'm hungry. What is he really intending? What is the speaker meaning behind his saying, I'm hungry? Obviously, he probably means, I want you to give me some money, or please give me some food. He's begging, he needs some food. But what if you have a child and you're trying to make him go to sleep, but he doesn't want to go to sleep, and suddenly he tells you, I'm hungry. Why did he say I'm hungry? He didn't say I am hungry because he really wants to eat. He just wants to delay going to bed, so he's telling you something else. So the intended meaning, the speaker meaning of I'm hungry means I don't want to go to bed right now. What if you and your friend are sitting in the university, and you know this is a new friend, you don't know her that well, and you want to make friends, and then you tell her I'm hungry. What does that really mean? Well, she probably means, let's go out for lunch, for example. Or do you want to have a bite, or shall I invite you to a sandwich? You're trying to make friendly conversation, you're trying to get to know her better, and so you say, I'm hungry, let's go. So the speaker meaning is, let's go out and have something to eat, or I'll invite you to lunch. And so obviously, this exercise is meant for you to see the difference between the speaker meaning and the intended meaning. So, I will do the impossible. It's not taken literally. It's taking, it's just meant as a figurative meaning of I'm. So, what does this see? We see from the answers that not everything is intended to be taken literally, and the word is literal. Literal means actually, actual fact. So not everything is intended to be taken literally. Sometimes we speak figuratively because we want to emphasize a certain point. We want to say something in a particular way, and so we emphasize it this way. We also have to know that we shouldn't equate meaningfulness with information in a narrow sense. What does that mean? While it is true that many sentences do carry information in a straight way, it is also true that many sentences are used by speakers not because they want to give you information, but they want to keep the social wheels turning. They want to keep you in some kind of conversation. It doesn't intend anything in terms of information. And so while sentences have meaning, they don't always have to convey information. That's why we say that don't equate. Equate means don't make them similar. Meaningfulness and informativeness is not the main thing. It's not the same thing. I could say something that has meaning, but carries no information for you. So how is that? If, for example, we say, look at the following conversation that you have in front of you. A says, lovely weather for March, isn't it? And B says, one day it is cold, the other it is hot. And then A says, but it's a nice day. And B says, I expect it might get cooler again tomorrow. And A says, by the way, has the 54 bus gone by yet? So you see the difference between the first four lines. It's just a simple talk discussion of the weather. It's nice weather, lovely. Yes, one day it's cold, one day it's hot. It's a nice day. There's nothing, no information is carried over. They're not trying to inform you anything. But once A starts by saying, has the 54 bus gone by yet? You know, look at the picture in front of you. They're standing in front of the bus station, for example. And they want to know where the bus has gone by it or not. And so obviously this is information. If B says, no, it hasn't, yes, it has, then he's also giving to them information. So A here, when he says, has the 54 bus gone by yet, is requesting information. He's not requesting any kind of meaningfulness other than the fact that he wants or he needs more information. So it's clear from the first four utterances, as we said, engaged by these two speakers, they don't contain any information. They just engage and exchange what we call icebreakers. They're just to start a dialogue. So in the practice below, some of the basic facts about meaning are stated. Let's see what's happening in the next dialogue. So, as the recording says, we're trying to see whether you understand the difference between meaningful sentence and non-meaningful sentence. So, alive means the opposite of dead. Now, obviously, this is true, right? You just want to say whether something is true or false. If you say alive means the opposite of dead, that's a meaningful sentence, and it's also true, right? So we're going to say that it's true, and it has meaning. And we're going to go on. By has the opposite meaning from self. Now, is this true or is this false? Obviously, by and self are two different words, and therefore you know that the sentence is true. But notice what we're doing here. How do you know whether this sentence is true or not true? You know it because you know the meaning of by, and you know the meaning of self and self. And if you know the meaning of by and you know the meaning of self, you can tell whether their by is the opposite of self or not. So here we're talking about two things. We're talking about the sentence being meaningful, meaning being true, and the only way you can know whether a sentence is true or not is if you know the sense of the words. So you need to know the meaning of by, cell, and opposite. And if you don't know the meaning of all these, the sense of all these words, you won't be able to know whether these sentences are true or false. Caesar is a prime number, is nonsensical. Notice what we're saying here. Nonsensical means meaningless. How do we know whether a sentence is meaningless or not? You only know so when you know the meaning, the sense of the words in a sentence. So, Caesar, you know the meaning of Caesar, that it's a proper name. And prime number just means a basic number. And so obviously this sentence, Caesar, the prime number is nonsensical, is true. Because it's not sensible. The sentence does not have any meaning. And the only way that you know that the sentence is meaningless is if you know the sense of the words in the sentence. Caesar is a man is nonsensical. Now, obviously, this is incorrect, because if you say Caesar is a man, everybody will say yes. Yeah, Caesar could be the name of a man, or Caesar is a man. It's acceptable as a sentence. It's not nonsensical. And so therefore, you will say false, but because it's not nonsensical. And notice again how you arrived at this conclusion. You arrived at this conclusion only because you know the sense of the words. You know the meaning of the word Caesar, and you know the meaning of the word man. And so we're going to say false and go on to the next one. And so with that, we come to the end of this particular content. And we can also go, obviously, into chapter number 2, or lecture number 2. Now, in lecture number 2, it has obviously more information about the chapters. So we're going into chapter 2 right now. And obviously there's still nobody here in the chat room. And the main room here, there's only me, obviously, so there's nobody there for me to talk with. But it's still okay, you know. We're trying to see whether the board is working okay, whether the application is working okay. Now I want to show something. So here I can just so if I want to say if I wanted to say I'm hungry, this is an expression, and it could have various meanings. If it's said by a beggar, it will mean what? It will mean, please give me. If it's said by a child trying to go to sleep, for example, doesn't want to go to sleep, it will mean, I don't want to go to sleep now, because you've been trying to make him go to sleep and he doesn't want to. And if it's said by a friend who's trying to get to know you better, it means, let me invite you to dinner, for example. So obviously it has various meanings when you say, I am hungry. And we can clear the page now. Okay. So this is if we want to go to And so we're going back to the main page again. We just set up a new page and we went back to our old session, which is in the semantics lecture 2. But what I wanted to show you is how we can go in and enter a new page that we can start using tools on. So here we're going to go into the whiteboard one more time. And we're going to go to set up a new page or show a new page. So here's our whiteboard page. areas. So here's the whiteboard, and we can now so this is the best way to begin the lecture on semantics. And we're going to try our best to use the whiteboard in addition to, I'm just trying to help you out with the setup of the page. We will be using the whiteboard in addition to the regular session. Okay, so this is the best way that we can do that. Hopefully it won't take us that long, but today we've almost done with the lecture now, 10 minutes to go. But I think we have succeeded in at least showing that we can get the basics done here. Now, obviously, there are previous lectures recorded. We can't go beyond the lectures that are there, but we're just going to go additionally on some extra information that we need to get. Okay, and the best way to do that is just to clear and so if you go back to the application sharing, we are going back to the application sharing mode. This way you're going back to lecture number 2, whereas what we tried to do here was just to flip or move from the screen from the white page back into the main room again. We can start with, obviously, with lecture number 2, and it deals with sentences, utterances, and prepositions. But I think the best way now, since we're almost due for time, we end today's lecture at 4:20, so I guess now the lecture is over. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.